Yo, what's going on out there in Geek Swag U-Land? This is your host, your moderator, admin TJ Hines, also known as @REI Geek Swag on Instagram. If you're not following me on IG, go ahead and take the necessary time to do so now. We are back at it to bring you the latest tips, strategies, and techniques on how to get your first deal closed out in the next 30 days. This is just a continuation of where we left off last week, addressing the common mistakes that most people make when starting out in this business. And as you already know, we led into the cold calling mistakes that most people make in this business. And of course, I gave you some solutions as well to help you overcome those mistakes as well as your fears. Well, today we're going to talk about SMS messaging and the 4 or 5 common mistakes most people make when sending out their campaigns and they're not getting the desired result that they would like to achieve. Stay tuned. REI, Geek Swag, it's your time to get it back. So here we are back at it to address the first mistake that most people make when sending out their SMS campaigns. And that is they only send out one campaign. That's right. They only send out one campaign looking to hit the home run. And when they don't hit the home run the first time up the bat, first time sending out that campaign, they become super frustrated. They think that the business doesn't work. They think that people just don't want to sell to them. Well, the likelihood chances of someone telling you, yes, they want to sell the very first time you send out a campaign to that list is probably going to be slim to none. A lot of these people won't even respond to the very first campaign that you send out. That's why you must overcome that mistake by sending multiple campaigns out to that list. So you must not only send one campaign out to that list, you got to send 2, 3, 4, 5, and even in some cases, 6 campaigns out to that list to make sure that you're generating responses from all the people who may have an interest in selling to you now or even in the near future. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 that most people make is they continually send multiple campaigns with the same caller ID. That is a big no-no, my friend. What's going to end up happening is your number is going to get blocked. You cannot send multiple campaigns using the same caller ID because people are smart enough to know, you know what? I'm just going to put this guy on the block list. So that way now, once you start sending messages, okay, from that number, you're not going to be able to get through to them. So make sure that you have at least 3 to 5 different caller IDs. You can use slidedial.com, okay, which is a service that will give you 2 to 4 free caller IDs. I haven't used this system or software in a while, but I know that you can get at least 2 to 4 caller IDs for free using slidedial.com. You can also get a caller ID from using Google Voice. Just go to voice.google.com. You sign up for a Google Voice account, and now you have a caller ID that you can forward all of these text messages to your personal cell phone from. So make sure that you have 3 to 5 caller IDs when sending out your text messaging campaigns. The third mistake that most people make is they don't filter down their list. And we talked about this in the cold calling mistakes, right? When you're reaching out to people who are on a do not call list, people who answer the phone, those numbers don't belong to them. You want to be able to filter them off the list, which is, again, one of the reasons why I think cold calling should be the foundation of prospecting for your business. Why? Because now you are sending text message campaigns out to a much more targeted list, and you're going to be more successful with the people that you reach when you're sending these text message campaigns out. But let's just say that you start sending your campaigns out and you haven't done any cold calling. Well, you would definitely want to make sure that you're filtering all of the people that say, hey, I'm on the do not call list that respond back, or say, hey, you reached the wrong person. I have no affiliation with that property. Then you want to make sure that you're taking the necessary time to filter these people off of the list. So that way, when you continually send out text message campaigns in bulk, you're going to be sending them out to a much more targeted audience, a narrower list than you were sending out the previous time. And what's going to happen is it's going to increase your response rates. And when you increase your response rates, you now increase the likelihood chances of you connecting with someone who wants to sell now or even in the near future. So that is the third mistake. Make sure that you filter down your list. It is the dirty work of the game that we don't necessarily want to do. But if we want to improve our results to get a deal sooner than later, then this is something that you should definitely be doing in your business. The fourth mistake that most people make when sending out SMS campaigns is they send the same template over and over and over and over again. You cannot do that. You must be more creative than sending the same body of message that you sent the first 2, 3, 4 times around. And so what you want to do is make sure that you're switching your templates up. That is mistake number 4, ladies and gentlemen. For me, I think that would be common sense, but I thought that I at least should address that here so that way you can avoid making that mistake and you'll also avoid getting your number blocked as well. Differentiate yourself between someone else who's sending out the same template. You want to make sure that you can generate a different response or even better responses every time you send a campaign out, and that's going to call for you switching your template up. Mistake number 5 is people do not personalize their messages when they send them out. You must personalize your messages with sending them out. Now, you don't necessarily have to address their name, but you definitely want to put your name in there, okay, along with something personal. So for me, what I would essentially do is I would create a template saying, me and my daughter are interested in purchasing her first investment property in your neighborhood sooner than later. If you are interested in selling at this time or know of anyone who may be interested in selling at this time, call right? And so you're going to put your number there, of course. So you want to personalize that thing. Just think about this. If you personalize it to the fact, well, guess what? Someone may actually feel that emotion and may be saying, you know what, this may be a genuine person. And when it's time for me to sell, I would much rather deal with a person that actually has a real objective other than just trying to buy my property and make a ton of money off of it. So what you're doing now is creating that emotional feel when you send that message out to garner a response from that individual. So make sure that you're personalizing your templates every time you send them out. Do not just send the same template over and over again, thinking that you're going to generate a better response. You may even generate worse responses. So those are the 5 mistakes that you should avoid with sending out your SMS campaigns. If you've gotten any value from this, or if you have any comments or inquiries and you're watching this in REI Geek Swag You, go ahead and leave your comments and your inquiries down in the comment section. If you're watching this through the broadcast email and you're on our email list and you have any questions or comments, inquiries, or what have you, go ahead and reply to this broadcast. Reply to this email with any comments or questions that you have, and I will get with you when the time permits. Hopefully this has helped you out now to, of course, improve your response rates and also get that first deal under contract within the next 30 days or so. This is your boy TJ Hines. Until the next time, we are out of here. Peace.